breathe deeply, and let the weight of the day fall away. Tonight, we wander softly into the forgotten places of the world where ancient stories still whisper beneath moonlit skies. In this journey, we will meet the sacred women of lost cults and hidden temples. They were mothers, healers, dreamers, and divine guides, guardians of wisdom who shaped the rhythm of life long before written history. Their voices echo like lullabies carried by the winds of time. As you rest, allow each chapter to carry you gently, like a candle glowing in the dark, into the memory of their sacred presence. If this story soothes your soul, let me know where you are listening from. And if these whispers of ancient women help you drift into dreams, feel free to subscribe so you can return to this sanctuary whenever you need rest. We begin at twilight, walking into the ruins of forgotten sanctuaries where women once sang prayers to the stars. Their voices shimmer like distant bells, reminding us of the power hidden in silence. The night opens slowly like a curtain drawn back upon the world. The last colors of the sun fade into gentle shades of violet and gold. Twilight rests over the land, soft and still, like a hand laid upon the heart. Beneath the sky, the stones of an ancient temple rise. They are broken, worn by centuries, yet they stand with quiet dignity. Their surfaces glow faintly in the fading light, holding the memory of prayers once spoken here. Each stone feels like a page, written not in ink but in silence. You drift closer. The air is cool, and the evening carries the scent of earth, dust, and forgotten blossoms. The wind moves gently, brushing against the stones as though it remembers. The temple is veiled in quiet, yet it hums with presence, a subtle pulse of something eternal. Once, long ago, this place was alive with song. Sacred women gathered here at dusk, their voices rising like silver threads toward the sky. Their chants were not loud. They were soft, like ripples across water, carried far by patience and devotion. Each note was a gift, an offering to the stars, whose eyes gazed down from the heavens. Imagine the sound of those voices, faint, yet enduring. They are not lost. They linger, woven into the stones, hidden in the air. When the breeze touches your ear, it feels almost like a song returning. It is delicate, like a bell in the distance, echoing faintly, waiting to be remembered. You stand in the ruins, yet it does not feel empty. It feels full of breath, full of memory, full of quiet devotion. The women who prayed here did not vanish. Their presence rests like a veil, thin and light, over every broken wall. Candles once glowed upon these stones. You can almost see them still, their tiny flames flickering in rows, filling the temple with gentle light. The flame was more than fire. It was the breath of the soul, steady, unwavering, guiding the night. Their hands held the flame carefully, as though guarding a secret star. Listen closely. A rhythm begins, not of drums or flutes, but of the earth itself. A heartbeat, slow and vast, rises from beneath the stones. It is the sound of the world remembering, the sound of devotion never lost. The women here were not rulers of armies. They were not seekers of power. They were guardians of silence. Through their stillness, they became bridges between earth and sky. Their prayers were threads, tying mortals to the heavens, tying life to the eternal. The stars overhead grow brighter as twilight deepens. Each one seems to shine more softly here, as if aware of the temple's memory. Perhaps it was always this way. Perhaps the stars leaned closer when the women sang, curious, listening, blessing the songs with their light. Your breath slows as you stand in their memory. Every inhale feels like a gift from the night. Every exhale feels like a release into something greater. The silence is no longer empty. It is full of presence, full of voices that cannot be erased. In the distance, the faint cry of a night bird echoes. Its wings brush the air above the ruins. The sound feels like another prayer, simple and true. Nature continues the ritual. Even when the temple walls fell, the world carried on the devotion, whispering it through leaves, through rivers, through the voices of the wind. You step deeper inside the sanctuary. Though broken, it feels whole. Every fallen stone is part of the circle, every shadow part of the light. It is not ruin, but transformation. The temple has shifted into another form, one that exists beyond sight. You close your eyes and the vision comes clearer. The women gather again, draped in flowing garments. They move slowly, their steps as quiet as water. In their hands they hold small offerings. grains, flowers, drops of oil. Their faces glow in the starlight, serene and eternal. Their voices rise together, not in force, but in harmony. Each note blends with the next, weaving a net of sound that stretches toward the heavens. The chant is simple, like the rhythm of the tide. It holds no demand, no urgency. Only trust, only surrender. You watch as their song ripples through the air. It becomes a soft mist rising higher and higher, until it brushes against the stars themselves. The stars respond, shimmering, pulsing gently as if nodding in reply. There is communion here, a conversation between earth and sky, spoken not in words, but in song. The veil of forgotten temples is not a veil of darkness. It is a veil of light hidden in silence. Through it, you see the truth, that nothing sacred is ever lost. Every prayer, every song, every whisper of devotion continues to live, breathing quietly beneath the world. You rest in this understanding. The night holds you as the temple once held its singers. The silence becomes your companion, soothing, endless, calm. The stars above are countless, yet they feel close, almost like lanterns hung just beyond reach. The women fade slowly into mist, returning to the memory of the stones. But their presence lingers, like the afterglow of a candle. You can feel them still, near your heart, near your breath. Their voices remain, faint but steady, guiding you deeper into rest. Now the temple grows quiet again. The stones breathe in silence. The stars hold their watch. The air grows cooler, softer, and the night begins to deepen. You feel the veil closing gently, like a curtain drawn in kindness, not to shut you away, but to cradle you, to keep you safe. The forgotten temples are not gone. They live within you now, in every breath, in every stillness, in every quiet night that calls you to rest. Let yourself drift in this silence. Let your body soften, as though you too are part of the stones, part of the stars. The temple is eternal, the song is eternal, and you are eternal, resting within its embrace. Now the stars return to their gentle shimmer. The night grows soft and endless. The voices are quiet, but their gift remains. The veil is closed, yet light still seeps through. Rest now. Rest in the memory of forgotten temples. Rest in the song of sacred women. Rest as the stars keep watch, and let us drift onward, into the next dream, carried by silence, carried by peace. Here we drift into the lunar cults of Mesopotamia, where sacred women served as bridges between mortals and the silver light of the night sky. Their rituals moved like tides, calming the soul. The night is soft and the moon has risen. It glows above the horizon like a pearl resting on velvet. Its light spills across the earth in pale silver, touching rivers, stones, and sleeping fields. The air is quiet, yet alive with a gentle hum, as if the world itself is listening. Far away in the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, a temple stands. It is built of stone, worn smooth by time, yet strong against the winds. At its highest point, a staircase rises toward the heavens. Each step catches the glow of the moon, turning into a pathway of silver. This is the temple of the moon goddess, and tonight it breathes with memory. You drift into the courtyard. The ground is cool beneath you, and the faint scent of oil lamps lingers in the air. In the stillness, women begin to gather. They move slowly, their garments flowing like water, catching the moonlight as they pass. They are the priestesses of the moon, sacred guardians, bridges between earth and sky. Their faces are calm, their eyes lifted to the glowing disk above. Some carry bowls of water shimmering under the light. Others hold small instruments, bells, flutes, drums with soft skins. Every movement is measured, every gesture tender. They are not in a hurry, for the moon waits for no one, yet it belongs to all. The priestesses form a circle. Their shadows stretch long upon the stone, weaving together like threads of a tapestry. A quiet sound rises, bells chiming, soft and delicate. The notes float upward, touching the night like stars being called awake. Then comes the low hum of voices, deep and steady, a chant flowing like a river under the silver light. The moon listens. It shines more brightly now, as if in answer to their song. The priestesses move in rhythm, swaying with the chant. Their steps are slow, like tides rolling in and out upon a shore. Their arms lift gently, opening toward the sky. The circle becomes a dance, not of spectacle, but of devotion. Each movement mirrors the phases of the moon. A bowed head for the new moon, an outstretched arm for the crescent, a full embrace for the round fullness of the goddess. Their bodies are vessels of meaning, shaping prayer through silence and motion. You watch them, and your breath follows their rhythm. Inhale with the lifting of arms. Exhale with the bowing of heads. The dance feels endless, like the moon itself, eternal and renewing. Time softens. Only the rhythm remains. Water bowls are lifted now, shimmering under the sky. The priestesses dip their hands, letting droplets fall back with care. The sound is like gentle rain, echoing softly in the temple. The water is holy, touched by the light of the moon. Each drop carries reflection, memory, peace. The chant deepens. Words are lost to time, yet their meaning is clear. They speak of cycles, of birth and return, of waxing and waning, of light that always comes back after darkness. They speak of comfort, of a mother watching her children sleep beneath the night sky. They speak of stillness, of trust in the turning of the heavens. One priestess steps forward. Her hair shines silver in the glow, and her voice rises above the others. It is soft yet steady. She sings not for power but for closeness. Her words flow like water, spilling into the hearts of those who listen. Her song becomes a bridge, carrying human longing into the embrace of the goddess. The others join her, and the chant becomes fuller, deeper. It flows like tides, rolling forward, pulling back. You feel it inside your chest, slow and steady like a heartbeat. The temple stones carry the sound, passing it from wall to wall, until it feels as if the earth itself is humming. The moon continues to glow. Its silver light softens the lines of the temple, turning stone into dream. Shadows blur, edges fade, and everything seems wrapped in a gentle veil. The world is quieter, slower, safer here. It feels as though the goddess herself is near, watching with calm eyes, resting with her daughters. As the chant flows, the priestesses begin to place offerings at the center of the circle. Small bowls of grain touched by moonlight, flowers gathered from the riverbanks, clear water shimmering in the silver glow. Nothing grand, nothing heavy. Only simple gifts, symbols of trust and gratitude. The dance slows. The chant softens. The air grows still again. The priestesses stand quietly now, their faces lifted upward. Their silence is not empty. It is full, like the pause between waves. It is in this silence that the moon speaks. It speaks not in words, but in light. It covers the women with silver, painting their skin, their robes, their hair. It touches the stone, the water, the offerings. It makes everything glow softly, as though all has been blessed. This light is a promise that even when darkness comes, it will return. That cycles never end. That every night carries a hidden star, a hidden moon, waiting to shine again. You breathe deeply. The air tastes cool, clean, touched by light. Your body softens, as though the chant has entered your very bones. You are part of the temple now, part of the circle, part of the song. The moon rests above you, patient, eternal, serene. Slowly the priestesses bow. Their hands press gently to the earth, then lift once more to the sky. The ritual is complete, yet the peace remains. They step back, their robes brushing softly against the stone. Their shadows fade into the night, but their presence lingers like a fragrance that never leaves. The temple quiets. Only the silver light remains, filling every corner, every breath. You stand in the stillness, resting, listening, glowing. The chant is gone, but its echo continues in the heart, steady and calm. The moon has given its blessing. It asks nothing more, only that you rest beneath its light, trusting in its return. The cycle is eternal. The peace is eternal. The silence is eternal. Now the night deepens, and the stars begin to shimmer beside the moon. The temple softens into shadow. The chant fades like mist, but the calm remains, surrounding you, carrying you. Let the silver veil close gently over your mind. Let your breath match the rhythm of the tides. Let your body grow heavy, like stone resting in moonlight. The priestesses have spoken. The goddess has answered. And now there is only rest. Rest as the moon watches over you. Rest as the stars take their places. Rest as the night carries you deeper into dream. Now drift onward, into the still waters of sleep, into the endless cycle of peace, into the embrace of the moon, the sands whisper of women who guarded sacred fires. We follow their gentle devotion, feeling the warmth of eternal flame, glowing softly against the endless night. The desert night stretches wide. Its sands, cool now after the burning day, glisten faintly under the touch of stars. The wind moves like a whisper, brushing across dunes that rise and fall like sleeping waves. Far off, a faint glow flickers against the horizon. It is not lightning. It is not the stars. It is fire, tended carefully, never allowed to die. You drift closer, step by step, as the sands soften beneath your feet. The glow grows brighter, steady, welcoming. There, in the heart of the desert, a circle of stones surrounds a flame. The fire dances, golden and gentle, casting shadows that sway like veils. Around it, women sit in quiet devotion. They are the daughters of the desert flame. Their garments are light, their faces calm. Their eyes reflect the glow, steady and serene. They do not speak loudly. They do not move in haste. Each one is a guardian, chosen to keep the fire alive. For to them the flame is not only light, it is breath, it is memory. It is the eternal spirit that binds the desert together. The desert is vast. Its nights are long and silent. But here, within this circle of flame, there is warmth, there is life. The fire has burned for generations, passed from hand to hand, from guardian to guardian. It has never been allowed to fade. Its smoke rises softly into the night, a prayer written in the sky. One of the women leans forward. She places a small branch into the flame. The fire accepts it with a gentle crackle, glowing brighter for a moment. Her hands linger near the warmth, but not too close. Her touch is reverent, careful, as though she cradles something sacred. The others watch with quiet respect. Every gesture matters. Every spark carries meaning. The priestesses of flame believe that fire is not only heat, not only light. It is the living heart of the world. It is the sun brought down into the earth, a star captured in gentle hands. It gives warmth in the cold, yet it also gives spirit to the soul. To let it fade would be to let memory itself dissolve into the night. The women sing softly now. Their voices are low, almost like humming, steady as the breath of the desert wind. Their chant follows the rhythm of the flame, rising, falling, flickering, glowing. Each sound is carried into the dark, as if the desert itself listens. The dunes seem to shift more slowly. The air itself grows still. The fire listens too, dancing in time with their song. Close your eyes and you can feel it. The warmth of the fire reaching outward, sinking into your skin, into your breath. It is not harsh. It is not wild. It is calm, steady, protective. A warmth that soothes, like a blanket wrapped gently around your shoulders. The daughters of the desert flame carry small bowls beside them. Each bowl holds glowing embers saved from nights before. If the great fire ever wavers, these embers are ready to bring it back to life. They are keepers of continuity, guardians of time. To carry an ember is to carry the past, the present, and the future all at once. The chant deepens. One woman rises, her robe flowing softly in the firelight. She carries a vessel of oil, clear and shining. Slowly, with care, she pours a few drops into the flame. The fire flares brighter, not in fury, but in gratitude. The smoke rises smooth and steady, carrying the scent of herbs into the night air. It smells of earth, of roots of ancient gardens long gone. It soothes the senses, lulling the body toward stillness. The women watch as the flame dances higher. Their faces are calm, serene. They know this fire has watched over their mothers and their mothers before them. It has seen storms pass. It has seen armies march. It has seen deserts shift, dunes rising and falling like tides. Yet the fire remains, eternal, enduring, endless. You drift closer, sitting in the circle with them. The sand beneath you is cool. The fire warms your skin. The chant hums softly in your chest. The night above is endless, yet it feels safe, wrapped in the glow of the flame. The stars lean closer, curious, watching. Even the moonlight softens, as though bowing in respect. The daughters of the flame believe the fire carries messages to the divine. When it flickers, when it rises, when it smokes, it speaks. It tells the story of the people, of the desert, of the earth itself. Every spark is a word. Every ember is a memory. Every flame is a prayer. The women bow their heads. Their hands rest on the earth, palms open, as though receiving the warmth through the sand. Their silence is deep now, full of presence. The fire crackles softly, filling the space with its song. It is enough. No other sound is needed. Your eyes grow heavy in the glow. The fire becomes a rhythm like breath. It sways and flickers, steady and calm. It feels alive yet restful, as though it too is dreaming. You drift with it, slower, softer, deeper. The chant fades into whispers. The oil lamps dim. The fire settles into steady embers, glowing like jewels in the sand. The daughters sit still, their faces lit by the last golden flickers. They are patient. They know the flame will rise again tomorrow. It always does. The desert night stretches wide, but the circle feels close, safe, eternal. The sands may shift, the winds may howl, but the fire endures, glowing softly, carrying memory, carrying peace. Now the flame burns low. It is not ending. It is resting, as you will rest. The daughters bow once more, their eyes closing, their hands resting upon their hearts. The desert breathes slowly. The stars return to their quiet shimmer. The fire glows steady, eternal, calm. Rest now in its warmth. Rest as the sands cradle you. Rest as the flame hums gently in the night, and let us drift onward, carried by the fire, carried by the sands, carried by the endless peace of the desert flame. Among ancient trees, women tended groves that were believed to breathe with the gods. Their songs carried on the wind, blending earth, spirit, and sky into harmony. The night bends softly into stillness. The stars are quiet lamps above, veiled by drifting clouds. A path of pale stone winds into a forest where shadows lean long and gentle. The air is cool here, touched with the scent of moss and earth. You move slowly, guided not by lanterns, but by the low hum of voices carried on the breeze. The grove waits ahead. Ancient trees rise tall, their trunks wide as pillars, their crowns woven thick against the sky. They stand not as wood alone, but as living temples. Their roots sink deep into the soil. Their branches stretch far toward the heavens. They hold the memory of countless seasons, breathing in rhythm with the earth itself. The air feels different here. Each step is softer, as though the ground itself listens. The wind no longer rushes. It sighs, moving through leaves in a language older than words. It is a sacred grove, a place where sky and soil meet in harmony. And here, in this place of stillness, women have gathered for centuries to tend its breath. They are the keepers of the grove. Their robes are simple, flowing like water. They walk barefoot, feeling the pulse of the ground beneath them. Their hair carries small leaves and woven flowers, gifts from the trees. Their voices are calm, their steps unhurried. They belong to the grove as much as the trees, as much as the soil. One begins to sing. Her voice is low, almost hidden at first, like a stream beneath stones. Then another joins, then another, until their song threads through the grove like soft rain. The sound rises and falls with the wind, weaving with the creak of branches, the rustle of leaves. It is not only song. It is prayer. It is offering. It is the breath of the grove made audible. The trees respond. Leaves tremble, though no storm is near. The air thickens, fragrant with resin and blossom. The earth feels warmer beneath your feet, as though roots stir below the surface. The grove listens, and the grove sings back, its voice hidden in the shifting air. Close your eyes, and you can hear it more clearly. The hum of the women, the whisper of the leaves, the sigh of the earth. It blends into one sound, low and endless, like the ocean resting against the shore. Each note lingers, circling through the trees, carried outward on the night breeze. Legends say the grove is alive, breathing as any creature breathes. When the women sing, they match its rhythm. Their voices align with the slow inhalation of earth, the gentle exhalation of sky. To them, every tree holds spirit. Every leaf is a vessel of life. Every root, a channel of memory. The grove is not silent, it is always speaking. The songs help one to hear. The women move in a slow circle. Their hands brush against bark polished by centuries of touch. They place offerings at the roots, bowls of clear water, sprigs of herbs, smooth stones gathered from riverbeds. These are not gifts to be consumed, but symbols of balance, returned to the earth with reverence. The trees do not take, they share, and the women in turn share what they have gathered. A single torch flickers near the center, though it is not bright. It burns only enough to glow, not enough to disturb the night. Beside it lies a stone altar carved long ago, its surface softened by moss. Here, the women kneel, resting their palms upon the cool stone. They bow not to power, not to command, but to harmony. They lean their foreheads gently against the stone, listening to the pulse beneath. You can hear it too. If you lean close, the altar seems to hum faintly, as though carrying the echo of deep roots. It is the sound of stillness made solid, the sound of time itself lingering. The grove holds all seasons, all rains, all sunlight, all winds. It has absorbed the songs of generations, and now breathes them back. The women rise slowly. Their song continues, shifting into softer tones. One sings of dawn, another of rain, another of starlight. Their voices layer together, forming a melody that carries all times at once. It feels endless, eternal yet simple, like breathing, like the slow turning of the sky. The wind stirs, carrying petals down from the high branches. They fall gently, drifting like snow upon the shoulders of the women. They do not brush them away. Each petal is seen as a blessing, a small gift from the trees. Some petals fall into the water bowls, floating on the surface like stars caught in reflection. The night deepens, but the grove glows softly. It is not firelight, not moonlight, but something gentler. A radiance seems to flow from the trees themselves, pale and steady, as though their leaves have stored fragments of starlight. The grove does not sleep. It watches, it breathes, it hums. It is awake in silence, and it keeps those who enter safe. The women's voices fade into murmurs. Some sit cross-legged upon the earth, their eyes closed. Others lean against roots, resting as though in the arms of the trees. Their stillness is not empty. It is full of presence, full of listening. Every pause carries meaning. Every silence is part of the song. The air grows cooler now. The torch burns lower. The altar is draped in shadows, but the grove remains alive, its breath steady, its spirit calm. A sense of timelessness settles over the place. It does not feel like night. It does not feel like day. It feels like something beyond ours, something deeper. The women believe that when the grove breathes, the gods breathe too, that the rhythm of earth and sky is the rhythm of the divine. And so, by singing, by tending, they join that rhythm. They do not ask for power. They do not ask for answers. They only join the harmony that has always been. You feel it as well. Your breath slows. Your body softens. Your heartbeat falls in line with the rhythm of the grove. Inhale with the trees. Exhale with the wind. A steady, endless pattern. So simple. So calm. So eternal. The last notes of song linger, then fade into silence. Only the whisper of leaves remains. The grove sighs as though settling into deeper rest. The women close their eyes. Their faces glow faintly in the starlight that filters through branches. Some drift into sleep where they sit. Others continue to listen, heads bowed, hands upon the soil. All is still, yet all is alive. The night holds you. The trees hold you. The grove hums around you, a cradle of earth and sky. Your breath is steady now, your body light, your mind at peace. The sacred grove will keep watch. It will hold memory, it will hold song, it will hold silence. You need only rest within it. Now the voices have gone quiet. The grove whispers softly to itself. The stars draw close, then fade back into distance. The night deepens, gentle and calm. Rest now as the grove breathes. Rest as the roots hold steady. Rest as the wind carries its song into the sky. And let us drift onward, beyond the branches, beyond the night, carried by the voices of the sacred grove. We rest at the stone chambers of Delphi and beyond, where priestesses listened to the earth's breath and spoke truths wrapped in mystery. Their wisdom flows like a stream, soft and steady. The night holds its breath. The sky is painted in deep indigo, with faint silver dust scattered across its endless canvas. A winding path of stone leads upward through quiet valleys, toward the shadow of a mountain. The air here is cool and thin, carrying the faint scent of thyme and pine. Somewhere, far above, the voice of the mountain waits, hidden in the silence of stone. This is Delphi, a place where earth itself was believed to speak, where breath rose from cracks in the ground like incense from a hidden altar, where priestesses sat in stillness, listening not with their ears, but with their whole being. The mountain was their temple, the wind was their choir, the earth was their oracle. The chambers rest at the mountain's heart. Stone walls curve inward, forming a quiet circle. An opening above lets the night sky lean down, placing stars gently within reach. Torches burn low along the walls, their flames steady, their smoke rising like threads of prayer. The air is thick, touched with a sweet, heavy fragrance drifting up from unseen depths. It is said the earth exhales here, breathing secrets into the night. The priestess enters slowly. Her steps are soundless, her white robes brushing against the cool floor. Her hair falls in dark waves, crowned with a simple wreath of laurel. Her face is calm, her eyes lowered as though already listening. She moves to the center of the chamber and kneels beside a low stone seat. Here, she will listen for the mountain's whisper. She closes her eyes. Her breath deepens, slow and steady, like the rhythm of a tide. Around her, the chamber hums faintly, a sound too deep for ears alone. It is the heartbeat of the mountain. It thrums in the stone, in the air. even in the silence between breaths. The priestess leans into it, her body swaying gently, as though rocked by unseen waters. Legends say that the breath rising from the earth carries voices. Not voices of men, not voices of gods, but something between. A current of truth flowing quietly beneath the noise of the world. To hear it, one must empty the mind of questions, empty the heart of desire, and simply listen. The priestess listens now. Her lips part, and words begin to flow like water finding its path. They are not words of command, not sharp or sudden. They drift, soft and low, like mist over a river. Fragments of image, pieces of song. Stone remembers. Waters return. Light bends into shadow, and shadow into light. Her voice trembles like a reed in the wind, yet it carries weight, like a river's current. Those who hear do not ask her to explain. They take her words as seeds to be planted in silence. In time, the seeds will grow. Some into truth, some into guidance, some into quiet mystery. The oracle does not give answers. She gives direction, like the mountain pointing always toward the sky. The chamber holds its stillness. Only the torchlight flickers. Only the faint hum of stone remains. The priestess breathes, and with each breath the chamber seems to breathe with her. Her body sways, her hands rest upon her lap. Her voice rises again, softer than before, almost like a lullaby. Do not rush the river. It finds the sea in time. Do not fear the shadow. It is the face of light. Her words are simple, yet they linger. They echo within the chamber, not fading but folding into the silence, as though the stone itself absorbs them, keeping them for those who will come later. Each phrase becomes part of the mountain, part of the breath, part of the earth's memory. Outside, the mountain is quiet. The stars drift slowly, wheeling above. The night is deep yet tender. The valley below is hidden in shadow, the forest sleeping, the rivers resting. All seems still, yet beneath the stillness is movement. The slow turning of earth, the endless cycle of breath. The oracle's chamber reflects this same truth. Stillness that is never empty. Silence that is never void. The priestess grows quiet now. Her head lowers, her breath deepens. She has given her voice to the mountain, and now the mountain rests again. Her role is not to command, not to control, but simply to open herself to the earth's whisper. When the whisper fades, she too fades into silence. Around her, other women keep watch. They move with quiet grace, carrying bowls of water, lighting new torches, tending the chamber. Their hands are steady, their eyes calm. They too listen, though no words pass their lips. To them, every sound is part of the oracle. The crackle of flame, the sigh of wind, the drip of water on stone. All is message, all is teaching, all is harmony. Some say the oracle's voice was the voice of the gods. Some say it was only the mountain, only the earth. But to those who came, it did not matter. The whisper was real. The breath was real. The words, though veiled, were alive. Alive enough to guide, alive enough to soothe, alive enough to linger in the heart. Now the chamber softens into deeper stillness. The priestess rises slowly, her steps light as drifting ash. She leaves the stone seat, placing her hand upon the altar as she passes. Her fingers linger there, tracing the cool surface, as though touching the mountain's skin. Then she turns, her figure fading into shadow, her voice quiet at last. The chamber does not lose her presence. It holds her words, her song, her silence. It will hold them for centuries, for those yet to come. The mountain breathes, the earth whispers, the oracle listens, and in the rhythm between them, peace flows like a gentle stream. You too can feel it now, the hum beneath the stone, the breath of the mountain moving slowly through the night. It asks for nothing. It demands nothing. It only reminds you to listen, to breathe, to rest. Your breath is steady now. Inhale with the mountain. Exhale with the stars. A rhythm older than memory, yet gentle as sleep. The oracle's whisper lingers in your chest, soft as a lullaby. Not a command, not a riddle, just presence, just calm. Now the chamber dims, the torches fading to embers. The stars above seem closer, leaning down through the opening. The air is cool, the silence deeper than before. The mountain hums softly, endlessly, patiently. It will keep breathing long after this night. It will keep whispering to those who are still enough to hear. Rest, then, in this sacred place. Rest in the mountain's breath. Rest in the silence that is never empty. Rest in the whisper that is always near. Let us drift onward now, past the stones, past the valleys, past the night sky, carried by the oracle's whisper, gentle as flowing water. From Aegean islands, stories rise of women who called to the waves, protectors of sailors and healers of the tide. Their touch was salt and sweetness, a lullaby of water. Night has fallen gently across the Aegean. The horizon is a silver line where moonlight rests upon the wide, breathing waters. The sea is calm, like a great chest inhaling and exhaling, holding the memories of countless lives. You drift here, carried not by sails or oars, but by the stillness of story. The waves cradle you, rocking you with the patience of a mother. Far ahead, islands rise like dark jewels scattered across the sleeping ocean. Their outlines are softened by mist, their slopes holding olive groves and the quiet songs of cicadas. At the edges of these lands, women once stood watching the sea, whispering prayers into the wind. They were known as the mothers of the sea, guardians of tide and current, voices of calm in the storm. The people of these islands believed the ocean was alive, not only with fish and foam, but with spirit. Every swell of water carried the breath of gods. Every tide pulled by the moon was the turning of an ancient wheel. And within this mystery, women were chosen. Not as rulers, not as warriors, but as gentle keepers of the in-between. They spoke to the waters, and the waters listened. The first of the mothers was said to be born in a cave near the shore. The story tells of a girl found asleep within a shell, her hair smelling of salt, her skin touched by sunlight. When she cried, waves rose higher. When she laughed, fish gathered near the rocks. Her name was not given but found, the way the sea gives gifts to the sand. They called her Thalassa, meaning the deep waters. As she grew, she learned to walk barefoot upon wet stone, leaving no trace. The gulls followed her, the dolphins swam near her path. It was said her voice could carry across the foam, reaching even the furthest sailor. When ships left the island, she sang, and the sails filled with steady wind. When storms came, she whispered, and the waves bent low like children at her feet. Thalassa became the first mother of the sea, and after her, others arose, not of birth but of spirit. Women who felt the tides in their blood, women who carried the taste of salt upon their lips and the hush of water in their breath. They gathered on headlands and beaches, weaving nets not for fish but for blessings, knots of rope tied with songs, charms against the fury of storms. At night, the mothers lit small fires upon the shore. The flames flickered against dark waves, guiding sailors back like lanterns of promise. They did not shout, they did not command. They only waited, patient and steady, their presence like a lighthouse of flesh and heart. For travelers who returned, weary and salt-soaked, the mothers offered bowls of warm water mixed with herbs. They bathed wounded hands, rubbed oil into tired shoulders, listened to the silence of men who had stared too long into empty horizons. They were not healers of flesh alone. They healed memory, grief, and fear. They whispered, "You are home," and the sea seemed to echo, "Yes, you are." On certain nights when the moon was round and the waters glowed, the mothers walked into the shallows. Their skirts floated about them like petals, their hair silvered by moonlight. There they raised their hands and sang. The sea answered in ripples and murmurs. Some said the mothers spoke to hidden beings, nymphs who lived in coral caves, or spirits who guarded pearl and sponge. Others believed they were calling to the Great Mother herself, the womb of all oceans. But in truth, no one knew. The song was not for men to understand. It was only to soothe the vast waters, to remind the sea of its own calmness. Generations passed. Islands changed. Sailors came and went. Yet the mothers of the sea remained, like tide pools that refill no matter how many times they are emptied. A tale speaks of a storm so fierce, it split ships like twigs. The winds tore through the sky, and the rain struck the ocean like arrows. In that dark hour, the mothers gathered at the cliffs. They stood together, hands linked, their voices rising above the thunder. What they sang is not remembered, but it is told the storm grew tired, as if rocked by their lullaby. The waves grew softer, the winds gentler, until the sea rested once more. To the sailors who survived, it was not chance. It was the mothers, holding the storm as a mother holds a restless child. To walk along the old beaches now, where waves slip up the sand and then slide away, is to feel their memory still. The hush of water against stone is a whisper. The foam that curls upon the shore is a hand reaching out. The sea remains, vast and unending, yet touched by the care of those women who once stood at its edge. Their touch lingers in the salt air. It lingers in the way the water glows under moonlight, in the way the waves sometimes sound like a lullaby if you listen closely enough. For though the women are gone, the sea remembers, and memory, like water, never truly disappears. Now let the story slow. Picture the night deepening, stars reflected in the gentle sway of waves. Imagine the sea stretching far beyond sight, breathing its endless breath. Feel the calm that the mothers once gave to sailors, now given to you. You are safe, as if held in the hands of the ocean. You are steady, as if rocked in the arms of a mother. The tides rise and fall, soft, eternal, like the rhythm of sleep. Drift with them now. Let the water carry you into quietness. Let the memory of the mothers hold you. Warm as salt wind, gentle as moonlit tide. Now rest, as the stars return, and the sea sings its lullaby once more. We hear the soft steps of women whose dances once echoed through temples. Each movement was prayer, each gesture a thread weaving spirit into rhythm. The night opens like a curtain of velvet. Stars shimmer above, scattered like grains of incense smoke upon the sky. A hush rests over the world, broken only by the murmur of distant winds. Somewhere, hidden between shadows and flame, an ancient temple waits. Its stones are worn, its pillars touched by time, but within its halls a memory breathes. You drift toward it. You feel the earth beneath you, firm yet gentle, as though carrying you with care. The moonlight pours across the marble floor, pale and silver, guiding you inward. Here, silence is not empty. It is full, and full of footsteps that once echoed here. Footsteps light as petals falling. They were the guardians of the sacred dance. Women chosen not for power of voice, nor strength of hand, but for the grace of motion. Each step they took was an offering. Each gesture was a prayer made visible. Where others spoke in words, they spoke in rhythm. Where others raised hands in stillness, they moved as flowing rivers, weaving spirit into form. Long ago, before dawn bells and before the clocks of men, people gathered in these temples. Torches flickered, casting golden halos upon the stone walls. Drums pulsed low, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. Flutes carried notes that swirled upward, delicate as rising smoke. And into that circle of light stepped the guardians. They did not come as performers. They did not seek to be watched. They came as vessels, bodies emptied of pride, filled instead with the quiet breath of the divine. Their dance was not for the eye alone. It was for the unseen, the gods, the spirits, the mysteries that dwell just beyond the veil. The first movements were slow, arms lifted like branches swaying in gentle wind. Feet pressed the stone with care, as though greeting the earth with each touch. Their eyes lowered not in shame but in surrender, becoming transparent, becoming open. The people who watched felt their own hearts soften. Breathing slowed, shoulders released. The dance was already doing its work, turning stone into sanctuary, silence into prayer. One tale tells of a dancer named Aria. It is said that when she was born, she did not cry. She only stretched her small hands upward, as if already reaching for the heavens. As she grew, she could not stay still. The wind drew her into motion, the river drew her into swirls. The elders saw this not as restlessness, but as calling. When Aria danced in the temple, her movements were like water made flesh. She bent low, rose high, turned in circles that seemed to carry time itself. Those who saw her swore they felt the presence of unseen wings brushing past. Sailors prayed for her to dance before they left for sea, believing her steps stitched safety into their sails. Farmers brought her grain, asking her to bless the fields with her turning hands. Her dance was not performance. It was bridge between the fragile heart of man and the eternal breath of spirit. But Aria was not alone. She was one among many. Generations of guardians stepped into the circle of light, each carrying the weight of silence upon their shoulders, each offering it back in motion. Some danced like flames, quick and bright, leaping and bending as if fire moved within their bones. Others moved like stone, slow and grounded, each step echoing like a bell. Some were like the sky itself, arms wide, spirals vast, as though containing stars. Together they were not many, they were one. One dance, one prayer expressed in countless shapes. The temple floor still remembers. If you close your eyes, you can almost hear it. The soft slide of bare feet, the rustle of cloth, the low beat of drums, steady as a heartbeat, the hush of many watching, breathing as one. Every gesture was a thread, weaving men, women, earth, and sky into a single tapestry of belonging. It is told that during festivals, the guardians danced through the night. Fires burned low, stars wheeled overhead, and still they moved. No fatigue showed on their faces. Their bodies, though mortal, seemed to borrow strength from something beyond themselves. When dawn broke, the people stepped into the light changed. Their fears had eased. Their anger had softened. They felt cleansed, as if the dance had washed them like a tide. Sometimes storms came. Not storms of rain, but storms of spirit. Quarrels among families. Unrest in the village. A heaviness that crept into the hearts of many. In such times the guardians gathered. They formed a circle, holding hands, their eyes closed. The music began slow and steady. Their bodies moved in harmony, each following the other like waves in sequence. The storm within the people lessened. The air grew lighter. The circle of dance dissolved shadows, returning hearts to balance. There was power in the stillness, too. Between each gesture, each turn, there was pause, a breath, an empty space that was not empty at all. It was in these pauses that the gods were said to dwell, in the silence between drum beats, in the quiet moment when an arm held steady before it fell again. It is there, in stillness, that the mystery speaks. Today the temples stand quiet. Their pillars wear ivy, their stones softened by centuries of rain. Yet the guardians are not lost. Their dance remains in the wind that circles the ruins. It remains in the sway of cypress trees, in the way grass bends with rhythm beneath the breeze. Every motion of the earth is part of their eternal choreography. When you walk through such a place, if you are quiet, you may sense it. The floor beneath your steps seems to hum. The air seems to hold its breath. The guardians are still there, not in flesh but in memory. And memory, when carried by the earth itself, is never gone. Now the night deepens. The music has faded. The dancers have bowed to the silence. Yet their movements linger in your heart. You feel as though you too have been part of their circle. Your breath has slowed. Your body feels lighter, as though the dance has passed through you like a tide. Rest now, as if lying upon the temple floor, where moonlight and shadow weave together. The sacred dance is still within you, gentle, patient, eternal. The guardians watch not with eyes, but with the hush of presence. They guard your dreams as they once guarded the prayers of their people. Let yourself drift with them. Let the rhythm of your breath be the drum. Let the stillness between heartbeats be the pause that holds the divine. Now rest as the stars return and the sacred dance carries you into sleep. Across cultures, women wove not only cloth but the very threads of fate. We enter their loom rooms where stars and lives were spun into gentle patterns. The evening air is soft and still. A pale glow stretches across the horizon, touching rooftops and treetops with quiet light. Somewhere, hidden behind walls of ancient stone, a loom waits. Its wooden frame is smooth from centuries of hands, its thread still humming with memory. You float closer, guided not by sound but by the hush of anticipation, the soft pulse of something old and tender. The loom room is warm, lit by candles whose flames sway gently, as if breathing with the rhythm of the earth. Shadows stretch along the walls, moving like whispered stories. It smells faintly of fibers, wool, flax, silk, soft as a mother's embrace. And here, at the center of quiet devotion, the weavers sit. Women whose hands do more than stitch or braid, women whose fingers shape the very patterns of life. They are not loud. They do not hurry. Each movement is measured, deliberate, like the tide brushing the shore. The threads slide through fingers, crossing and turning, carrying meaning beyond what the eye can see. Every color chosen softly, indigo like the night sky, silver like moonlight on water, warm gold like dawn. Each thread is a breath, each knot a heartbeat, each pass of the shuttle a whispered prayer. Long ago, people believed the threads of life were not accidental. They were spun, measured, and arranged with care. The fates, the Norns, the goddesses of weaving all worked quietly behind the veil. Some threads were long, like rivers that bend gently toward the sea. Others were short, like petals falling from a tree too soon. Yet none were ever without purpose, and the weavers, though mortal, carried a glimpse of this sacred understanding. One story speaks of Alia, a weaver who lived near the mountains. Her fingers were nimble, her eyes calm. Villagers said she could read destinies in the patterns of her cloth. A braid of flax could tell of a journey soon to begin. A knot of wool might speak of reunion or of rest. Yet Alia never claimed to know more than the quiet truth of each moment. She only followed the rhythm of the shuttle, trusting in the wisdom of the threads. The loom is not a machine. It is a conversation. Wood and thread, hand and breath meet in silence. The weavers speak softly, if at all, often only humming the same notes over and over. It is not a song to others, but to themselves. A song that moves like smoke through the air, curling into the corners of the heart. Even the birds outside, resting in trees, seem to pause, listening. Some nights, when the moon is high and the air still, it is said that the threads themselves shimmer, not with light that dazzles, but with a quiet glow, like fireflies resting in a dark garden. This is the gift of the weavers: to touch life without forcing it, to guide without demanding, to hold possibilities gently in their hands. The loom room is a sanctuary. Time stretches here slow and unbroken. Minutes feel like breaths, hours like heartbeats. And outside, the world continues, unaware of the magic at work. Storms pass, rivers flow, people sleep and wake. Yet within these walls, threads wind and unwind, linking past and present, joy and sorrow, earth and sky. There is no haste. Every crossing of a thread is a meditation. Every color chosen is an acknowledgement of the unseen. Every knot tied is a soft promise. Life is not random. It is tended, cared for, cradled in hands patient and steady. Across seas and deserts, other women work in similar quiet devotion. The Norns sit beneath the roots of Yggdrasil, spinning the destinies of gods and men. In Greece, the Moirai measure the threads of mortals with gentle precision. In distant villages, grandmothers work their looms by candlelight, the shuttles whispering in rhythm with the night. All of them are connected, if not by sight, then by intention. Their purpose is to hold life in tender hands, to guide its flow without force, to make beauty out of uncertainty. Some threads carry sorrow, some carry joy. Some carry moments so delicate they might be forgotten if not handled with care. Yet every thread matters, every movement matters, and the weaver's presence reminds all who see or hear that even the smallest touch can ripple outward, shaping the gentle curves of fate. You watch the loom now, imagining the shuttle moving back and forth. It slips under fingers, over fibers, never rushed, never abrupt. The pattern grows slowly, each row a verse of a poem written in texture and color. Perhaps it will become a garment, a blanket, a tapestry. Perhaps it will remain a symbol, a soft pulse in the heart of the room. Its purpose is not yours to decide, only to witness, only to breathe with the rhythm, to let your mind float along the gentle current of creation. In the stories, it is said that if you sleep near a weaver's loom, your dreams are calmer. The threads hum softly in the mind, shaping the night into quiet patterns. You see paths of light, rivers that curve like fingers, skies that fold into themselves like gentle cloth. Fear drifts away. Anger softens. The mind becomes a calm ocean, reflecting the steady hands of the women at work. Imagine now the weaver looking at her cloth. She sees beginnings and endings, twists and turns, the interweaving of many lives. Her eyes do not judge. She does not insist on perfect alignment. She only watches. She only tends. And in this quiet presence, the world itself seems to sigh in relief. You feel sleep approaching, soft as fibers pressed against skin. The threads of destiny, the care of gentle hands, have reached your mind. Your breath slows. Your heartbeat eases, and though the loom room fades from sight, its calm remains within you. Let yourself drift now, guided by invisible hands, carried by the rhythm of 1,000 quiet shuttles. Every dream you will have tonight is held with care, woven gently, turned softly in the loom of imagination. The mothers of destiny watch without eyes, guide without force, and cradle you in quiet light. Now rest as the stars return, and the threads of fate hum softly around your sleep. Softly we enter the ancient shrines of Crete, where women held serpents not as fear but as symbols of renewal. Their hands cradled life and death as one. The night is quiet but not empty. Shadows move gently across the hills of Crete, brushing the earth with whispered grace. A pale moon rises, spilling silver light over cliffs and olive groves. Somewhere, hidden among stones worn smooth by centuries, a shrine waits. Its walls are small, yet within them the world feels vast. You float toward it, each step light as air, each breath soft as a lullaby. The shrine is simple, built from local stone and cooled by the night air. Incense curls lazily from small bowls, drifting like thin clouds through the chambers. Faint patterns of moss and lichen adorn the walls, as if the stones themselves remembered the hands that touched them long ago. Here, stillness is alive. It moves with you, wrapping you in calm like the soft wings of a bird resting on a branch. And there, among the quiet light and shadows, are the priestesses. They sit cross-legged on the stone floor. Their eyes are calm, their breathing steady. In their hands, serpents coil gently, their scales glinting faintly in candlelight. But these are not creatures of terror. They are not meant to startle or harm. They are sacred symbols, the rhythm of life itself, ever winding, ever renewing. Long ago, people believed that the serpent carried the wisdom of the earth. It shed its skin, leaving the old behind and embracing the new. It moved silently through soil, through rock, through shadow and light. The priestesses understood this dance. They did not command the serpents. They did not resist them. They became attuned, listening with their hands and their hearts, learning the quiet language of renewal. One story speaks of Selene, a young priestess with hair like midnight and hands as gentle as river water. When she first entered the shrine, she trembled at the snakes. Their bodies seemed alive with mystery, twisting and turning in ways that startled the untrained eye. But the elders whispered to her, not in words but in presence. "Listen," they said. "Feel the heartbeat of the earth through your hands. Let it teach you." And slowly Selene's fear softened. She touched the serpents lightly, letting their coils slide over her palms. She felt their energy, a steady pulse that mirrored her own. And in that pulse she understood life and death are not separate. They are two sides of a single rhythm, a quiet cycle moving ever forward. The priestesses' rituals are slow, deliberate. They circle the altar with measured steps, their bodies moving as if in time with a distant, invisible tide. Candles flicker in response, bending shadows like reeds in wind. Sometimes the serpents slither along the floor, their paths winding like rivers. The priestesses follow, their hands guiding without forcing, their eyes calm, their breathing steady. Each gesture is prayer. Each coil embraced is a story told. Outside, the wind carries the scent of the sea and wild thyme. It brushes the shrine, lifting the curls of incense and the threads of hair around the priestesses' faces. It is a companion quiet and respectful, flowing over stone and flesh alike. And inside, the serpents move with confidence, their scales brushing against skin, their presence gentle yet potent. Life and death are acknowledged in each flick of a tongue, each coil upon the earth. The world feels held. Even the smallest shadow, the tiniest breath, is attended with care. The priestesses do not speak loudly. When words emerge, they are soft, like murmurs of wind through reeds. They sing not with voice alone, but with movement, with hands tracing the paths of unseen forces. Their dance is quiet, almost imperceptible, yet it resonates deeply. It is said that those who watch, even silently, feel the renewal themselves. Fears release, hearts soften. Thoughts, which once churned like restless water, settle into gentle pools of awareness. Some nights, when the moon is full and high, the serpents respond with shimmer. Their scales catch the candlelight and moonlight together, producing a quiet glow, like starlight folded into living forms. The priestesses watch, never needing to intervene. Their calm is enough. The serpents are free to move, yet guided by the stillness of devoted hands. This is the essence of their teaching. Presence without control, guidance without force, acceptance of cycles without fear. Stories from the island speak of initiation, when a young girl would sit with the serpents for the first time. Her hands would tremble, her heart racing, as coils of life passed over her fingers. The elder priestess would guide her gently, sometimes with words, often with nothing but the quiet assurance of shared breath. The girl would learn to trust the rhythm, to feel the pulse of renewal, to honor the soft edge between endings and beginnings. And when she emerged, the world seemed brighter, lighter, as if her spirit had absorbed the wisdom of the serpents themselves. The shrine itself is a teacher, as much as the priestesses. Stone walls, worn smooth by countless years, echo softly with the whispers of history. The floor remembers each step, each kneel, each coil of the serpents across its surface. The air hums with memories, carrying them to anyone who enters, soothing restless minds, easing anxious hearts. The serpents are patient. They wait. They wind, they rest, they stretch in the candlelight. They do not rush, and in their patience they teach. The priestesses do not demand understanding. They offer touch, presence, and care, letting the lessons unfold naturally. As a tide rises and falls without struggle, outside the shrine, the night continues, but it is not separate from the quiet within. The wind moves through olive branches, across fields of wildflowers, over cliffs that meet the sea. All of it follows a rhythm unseen but deeply felt. The priestesses, the serpents, and the stones move in harmony with this rhythm. Even as you watch, your breath aligns. Your mind eases, your heartbeat slows. You feel yourself drifting, carried on the slow, steady current of renewal. The serpents coil softly around unseen spaces. The priestesses breathe gently, their presence a quiet anchor. You do not need to understand. You only need to rest, to let the lesson enter your body like warmth, like the sun's last light spilling over the cliffs. The shrine fades from sight, yet its calm remains. The serpents continue their soft dance of life and renewal. The priestesses continue to guide with presence and care, and you, carried by their rhythm, sink deeper into sleep. Let the cycles of life and death, endings and beginnings, wrap around you like the gentle coils of a serpent. Let each breath you take be a thread in the tapestry of calm. Let the night carry you forward steady and soft, toward dreams where renewal is constant and peace is abundant. Now rest as the stars return, and the serpent priestesses watch over the quiet world of your sleep. We gaze upward into the heavens, where goddesses of the sky guided the hearts of their people. Their worship was a cosmic lullaby, a reminder of eternity. The night spreads wide and gentle like a velvet cloak over the earth. Above, stars begin their slow awakening, blinking softly in the vast quiet sky. A silver light spills over hills and rivers, painting them in gentle shades of shadow and glow. You float along a path of soft earth, surrounded by whispers of trees and the quiet song of distant streams. Somewhere far above, the constellations wait, timeless and patient, ready to share their stories. A temple rises in the distance, its stones warm from the last touch of sunlight. The air is cool, scented faintly with jasmine and night-blooming flowers. Torches flicker along the steps, casting dancing patterns across the walls. The stone feels alive, as if it remembers every prayer and every silent wish spoken beneath the stars. You draw closer, your steps quiet, your heart open. The night hums gently around you, a soft current carrying you forward. Inside, the temple is still. Shadows move across the walls as torches bend in the slow wind. And there on the high altar rests the image of the Queen of Stars. She is not rigid or distant. She leans softly into the night, her gaze encompassing both the earth and the heavens. Her crown glimmers with tiny lights, as if the stars themselves have descended to rest upon her head. Her presence feels like a lullaby, steady, eternal, inviting. Long ago, people believed that she guided the hearts of those who looked upward. Her eyes were the constellations, her breath the soft wind that carried dreams. Priestesses tended her altars, lighting candles that mirrored the night sky. Each candle was a thread of devotion, a quiet connection from earth to heaven. They whispered names of loved ones, of villages, of harvests and prayers, letting each word float upward. The Queen's worship was not loud or forceful. It moved like the moon across the sky, slow, steady, illuminating in gentle arcs. The faithful listened more than they spoke, their hearts attuned to the soft patterns of stars, the quiet rhythms of night. And the Queen responded, not with thunder or command, but with presence. She guided without pressure, her influence like a soft tide brushing the soul, steady and calm. Sometimes, when the night is perfectly still, it feels as if the stars themselves are breathing. They shimmer and sway, each twinkle a heartbeat in the vast expanse. The priestesses trace their patterns on the stone floor, moving in harmony with these celestial rhythms. Their arms rise slowly, following invisible lines drawn by light and shadow. Their voices, when they sing, are gentle, like the wind rustling leaves, carrying the soft lullabies of eternity. Stories tell of Lyra, a young acolyte whose heart had wandered in sorrow. She came to the temple seeking comfort, seeking light. The elder priestess took her hand and led her beneath the altar's glow. "Look," she whispered, "see how each star moves, yet never leaves its place. So too is the heart steady, even when it feels lost." Lyra watched, the stars reflected in her eyes. She felt her own heartbeat align with their silent pulse. Her breath slowed, her thoughts softened. The Queen of Stars did not speak in words, but her gaze was full of reassurance. In that quiet moment, Lyra understood. Even in darkness, there is guidance. Even in solitude, there is connection. The temple itself seems to breathe. Torches flicker, incense curls in slow spirals, and the walls hum softly with memory. Each stone holds stories. Each shadow carries whispers of devotion past. And the priestesses move like currents within this calm river, guiding the faithful without haste. The Queen of Stars teaches through example, not command. She reminds that patience holds power, that quiet observation can bring clarity. Her gaze stretches across the fields, the forests, the mountains, and even into hearts. She asks only that one watch, listen and breathe. The night deepens, and each star responds to this presence, winking gently, swaying in a slow cosmic dance. Outside the temple, the world mirrors this serenity. The wind stirs the leaves in harmony. The rivers hum in a slow rhythm. The cliffs breathe with the rise and fall of the tides. Even animals, sensing the quiet devotion, move softly, as if careful not to disturb the delicate balance of night. The Queen's influence reaches quietly to all corners, a gentle reminder that all things are connected, all things are watched, all things are held in tender attention. The priestesses walk slowly among the faithful. They light candles, pour water into sacred bowls, and trace circles on the floor with salt and herbs. Every action is a thread in a larger tapestry, weaving earth and sky, mortal and divine. They chant softly, their words floating like dandelion seeds rising toward the heavens. The faithful listen, their hearts sinking to the rhythm of the chant. The Queen of Stars does not need to move. Her presence alone guides the mind toward calm. At the height of night, when the moon rests high and the stars shine fully, the temple seems suspended in a moment of eternity. Time slows, and the heartbeat of the world becomes audible, gentle as a whisper. Each candle, each star, each soft breath of the priestesses contributes to a cosmic lullaby. You feel it enter your chest, settling there, a warm pulse of serenity. It is said that those who spend the night beneath her gaze awaken with quiet wisdom, not knowledge of the world in loud declarations, but understanding of life's rhythm, life's flow. You too feel this lesson seep into your being. The night wraps you in its calm cloak. Your thoughts drift like clouds across the moon, unhurried, untethered. Your breath flows with the ebb of the tides, slow and steady. The stars shine on, patient, eternal, reflecting the calm that now fills you. The Queen of Stars does not demand your devotion. She offers guidance like soft starlight. She shows how to watch without worry, how to move without haste, how to rest within vastness. Even now, as your eyelids grow heavy, her presence lingers, a gentle promise of continuity and care. Slowly the temple fades from view, but the calm remains. The torches burn low, the candles hum faintly, and the stars continue their silent dance. Your heartbeat aligns with their rhythm. Your mind is quiet, your body at ease. You float gently in the lullaby of night, wrapped in the presence of the Queen of Stars. Let each star be a thread of peace woven through your dreams. Let each breath be a steady pulse carrying you deeper into rest. Let the vastness of the sky remind you you are part of this gentle eternity. Now rest, as the stars return, and the Queen of Stars watches over the quiet world of your dreams. In Celtic lands, women guarded holy springs. Their waters healed, soothed, and whispered stories of rebirth beneath the night sky. The night drapes softly across rolling hills, covering meadows and rivers in quiet shadow. A silver haze moves across the fields, stirred lightly by a gentle breeze. Above, stars twinkle as though listening, patient and serene. You walk along a mossy path, each step cushioned and hushed, leading toward the heart of the forest. The air is cool, scented faintly with wet earth and delicate blooms opening in the moonlight. Somewhere deep within the woods, water sings. A sacred spring waits, hidden and serene, its surface reflecting the slow dance of stars above. The trees lean in, their branches forming an arch that frames the path. Each leaf trembles lightly in the breeze, casting moving patterns of shadow and silver light on the ground. The night feels protective here, gentle as a lullaby, inviting quiet steps and hushed thoughts. You feel the soft pulse of the earth beneath your feet, steady and calm, like a heartbeat that reaches out to you. Ahead, a stone circle marks the boundary of the sacred spring. Torches glow softly at its edges, their flames mirrored in still, clear water. The water-bearers are there, graceful and quiet. They move slowly, their robes brushing the moss-covered stones as they tend the well. Each hand dips lightly into the water, feeling its cool depth, and lifts it gently to the lips of those who come seeking comfort. The women do not speak loudly. Their voices are soft, harmonizing with the subtle sounds of the night, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of an owl, the steady murmur of the spring. Even the air seems to pause in reverence. The spring has long been sacred. Its waters flow from unseen veins beneath the earth, carrying stories and memories from the heart of the world. People believed that each droplet could carry away sorrow, smooth pain, and awaken quiet joy. Those who drank from it left lighter, their hearts eased, their minds calmer. The water-bearers understood this deeply. They moved with careful attention, aware that each gesture, each offering, was a thread connecting earth, water, and spirit. As you watch, the women lift their hands and trace gentle patterns above the water's surface. Ripples form and spread outward, reflecting the light of the torches and the moon. Each ripple seems to carry a blessing, a whisper of something tender and eternal. The sound is faint but clear, like a heartbeat beneath the world, steady and slow. You lean closer, noticing the scent of whetstone, soft herbs, and the faint trace of wildflowers. Your own breath slows as your heart begins to match the rhythm of this quiet sanctuary. Stories tell of a young woman named Aisling, who once wandered to the spring in grief. Her heart heavy with loss, she approached the well under the silver moonlight. The water-bearers welcomed her without words, offering their hands and the soft music of flowing water. Aisling knelt at the edge and cupped the water, letting it touch her lips and her palms. The coolness spread through her, filling every ache with calm, turning sorrow into a gentle, flowing light. She stayed long into the night, listening to the whispers carried by ripples, each one telling of rebirth, of continuity, of quiet hope. The spring reflects the stars above as though it holds the heavens within. You can see the constellations mirrored in the water, stretching and bending with every ripple. The water-bearers move with soft reverence, adding small offerings of flowers and herbs, each chosen for its healing essence. They chant in low, melodic tones, a cadence that seems to merge with the rhythm of the night itself. The forest listens, the stream listens, and even the stones hum with memory. It is said that the spring remembers every touch, every wish, every prayer. Those who return, whether in joy or sorrow, find that their presence has already been welcomed. The water-bearers are quiet guides, showing how to listen to the water's voice, to feel its gentle teachings. They teach patience, calm, and the beauty of steady care. And even if no words are spoken, the air itself carries their message: rest, breathe, and trust in the quiet flow of life. You lean closer to the water, watching the ripples reflect moonlight and torch flames. Your hands hover just above the surface and a faint warmth seems to rise from the well. The water is soft and inviting, whispering a lullaby of continuity and peace. It carries memory from the depths of the earth and the edge of the world, blending all that has been into gentle patterns of calm. Each ripple seems alive, a pulse of quiet energy that spreads outward, reaching toward the trees, the stars, and you. The night air carries faint aromas: mint, lavender, whetstone, and the lingering scent of water-bearers' incense. It is comforting, grounding, and light. Each breath you take draws in that serenity, filling you slowly with calm. Your mind settles, your thoughts float like leaves on the surface of the sacred water. The ripples carry your worries far from you, transforming them into soft reflections of the moonlight. The women move with a rhythm older than time itself. Their steps are quiet on the moss, each gesture deliberate yet gentle. They draw small circles with their hands above the water, tracing patterns that mirror the movement of the stars. The well seems to hum softly in response, its surface shimmering in a subtle glow. Water-bearers are said to understand the language of these sacred waters, to listen to their whispers, and to share them with those who come seeking solace. You watch a candle flicker at the edge of the pool, its light bending and stretching with each tiny wave. The flame seems to dance in quiet companionship with the water, a slow, hypnotic duet of light and reflection. The priestesses chant softly again, the words like threads weaving through the cool night air. Each syllable feels like a gentle touch, calming, connecting, and steadying the mind. The song does not demand attention. It simply exists, and in its presence, your own thoughts soften. In the distance, an owl calls, and the sound drifts across the hills. The water-bearers pause, listening, acknowledging the life that surrounds them. Even the smallest creatures, the tiniest insects, seem in rhythm with the quiet harmony of the well. The moon arches higher, bathing the spring in silver light. Shadows of branches stretch across the water, painting moving patterns that shift and sway. You feel wrapped in the world's gentle heartbeat, part of the calm that flows from stone, water, and air. The night deepens, and a sense of timelessness settles around the sacred well. Each ripple, each star, each soft breath of wind carries a piece of eternal wisdom. The water-bearers smile faintly, their presence serene and unhurried. They do not ask for recognition or praise. Their care is enough, a quiet offering that teaches patience, calm, and the gentle power of presence. As the night stretches onward, you notice your own heartbeat slowing, your mind quieting. The water reflects your stillness back to you, mingling with the light of stars and the flicker of torches. The well seems to carry everything you have brought, the worries, the tiredness, the quiet hope, and it transforms them into soft ripples of peace. The water-bearers move among the pools, adjusting candles, offering flowers, and whispering blessings. Their gestures are simple, tender, and rhythmic, each one a thread in the vast tapestry of night. Soon the temple of water fades from view, but its essence lingers. The cool breath of the spring, the gentle hum of the well, and the soft presence of the women remain with you. Your eyes grow heavier, your thoughts drift like floating leaves, and the ripples of peace spread through your being. You carry the quiet lesson of the sacred waters. Life moves gently, all is connected, and calm can always be found beneath the night sky. Let the spring's whispers guide you into deeper rest. Let your breath match the rhythm of flowing water. Let the stars above, mirrored in the sacred wells, remind you that all is as it should be. Now rest, as the waters return to their hidden paths, and the water-bearers watch softly over your dreams. We pause with the midwives of ancient rituals, who ushered life into the world with prayers and secret songs, carrying both strength and gentleness. Night drifts across the hills like a soft, dark veil. The stars begin their slow shimmer, pinpricks of quiet light scattered above the sleeping earth. A gentle breeze stirs the grasses and carries the scent of wild herbs, soft and grounding. You walk along a narrow path, the earth cool beneath your bare feet, the air humming with the hush of twilight. In the distance, a faint glow marks the edge of a hidden grove, a sanctuary where the world breathes slowly and deeply. The grove is ancient. Tall trees lean gently toward one another, their branches forming a canopy of shadow and silver light. Here the air feels alive with whispers, soft as a lullaby, carrying memories of generations. Beneath the moon, shadows curve and stretch across the mossy floor, as if the earth itself bows in quiet respect. At the center, a circle of stones encircles a small warm fire, its flames flickering gently. The midwives are there, moving in serene rhythm, their hands soft but steady, their presence tender yet strong. They do not speak loudly. Their voices rise only in soft hums, a song almost carried away by the wind, a melody of life and renewal. Each movement is deliberate, sacred. A hand brushes over a glowing stone. A small bowl of water is lifted to touch lips or forehead. Each gesture honors the balance between giving and receiving, the sacred weight of beginnings. Even the fire seems to respond, flames stretching higher in quiet acknowledgement of the ritual. Stories whisper that these midwives walked between worlds. They guided both mothers and spirits with gentle hands and steady hearts. They knew the language of breath, the rhythm of blood and heartbeats, the secret passageways where life begins. In their hands, fear and hope move together, interlaced, held with reverence. One such woman, Maeve, is remembered in quiet tales. She knelt beside a mother, her palms warm and steady. Her song rose softly, a low, rhythmic hum that wrapped around the room like a protective cloak. The mother's breath matched the rhythm, a gentle wave of calm washing through her body, carrying away tension, leaving only trust. The midwife's power was not in shouting or command, but in listening. Each sigh, each subtle movement was attended to with awareness and grace. They watched the dance of life as it unfolded, adjusting, holding, and guiding, yet always letting the process speak for itself. Their wisdom came from patience and presence, a kind of quiet knowing that transcended words. The grove, the fire, the herbs, the stones, and the wind all became instruments in a symphony of gentle care. You watch as the midwives move with the firelight reflecting softly on their faces. Their robes sway like gentle waves, and their hands trace small, meaningful patterns over water, flame, and stone. A bowl of warm water is passed slowly, cupped between palms, the liquid shimmering in the flickering light. Each touch seems to carry reassurance, a gentle reminder that life unfolds in its own time. The midwives' song continues, rising and falling in cadence with the rhythm of night. It is as if the earth itself is breathing along, inhaling peace, exhaling calm. The grove holds these moments in its quiet arms. No one rushes here. The world outside is distant and muffled, and within this sacred circle, only life's tender unfolding matters. Even the air is still, carrying the faint scent of lavender, thyme, and smoke from the fire. You feel the warmth of the grove seep into your body, slow and steady, like a comforting hand resting lightly on your shoulder. The midwives know that strength and gentleness are not separate. Maeve hums as she lifts a newborn, cradling it close to her chest. Her hands are firm yet tender, guiding with confidence that does not force, holding with presence that does not cling. The infant's tiny breaths are a soft echo of the midwive's song, a rhythm shared between life and care. Each movement is intentional but unhurried, a dance of attention that honors the miracle of beginnings. The fire's warmth spreads across the grove, touching every leaf and stone. Shadows flicker in harmony with the midwive's steps. Each flame, each ripple of shadow, seems to tell its own quiet story. The wind sighs gently through the branches, carrying the sound of distant water and the subtle scent of herbs crushed beneath careful hands. Everything moves together, a flowing rhythm of protection, devotion, and serenity. Some say the midwives carry the memory of all births ever given. They remember the first cries, the first sighs, and every heartbeat in between. Their voices do not command, but they echo softly, like a gentle tide of reassurance. Maeve's song folds into this memory, connecting the past with the present, threading unseen through the grove, through the mothers, and into the hearts of those who witness the sacred moments. You watch as she dips her hands into a small basin, letting cool water flow over her fingers. She touches it to the forehead of a mother, a newborn, a stone, and then returns to the fire. Each action is careful, measured, full of intent. It is a choreography of life and quiet power, a gentle weaving of protection and calm. Even in silence, the grove speaks. Each stone seems to hum with presence. The fire reflects 1,000 tiny possibilities. The night sky arches above, stars like soft lanterns guiding the way. The midwives move slowly, each gesture carrying unseen blessings, each hum a lullaby to the rhythm of life itself. The song of the grove continues through the hours, soft and unbroken. It is not loud or demanding, but persistent, a river of gentle energy flowing through air, water, and heart. The midwives move between mothers, their hands cradling, guiding, releasing tension. Each mother's breath falls into sync with the song. Each infant responds in tiny, subtle ways. Life continues, steady and unhurried, within this circle of care and mystery. You can feel your own breath slowing, your heart softening in harmony with the grove. The warmth of the fire, the gentle aroma of herbs, and the quiet song of the midwives all settle into your body. Your thoughts drift like leaves on water, your muscles relax, and every small worry seems to dissolve into the night. The midwives know that presence is enough. They do not rush, they do not command. They cradle and guide, let the rhythm of life speak and honor every tiny movement as sacred. The grove responds to this patience, each tree, each leaf, each stone vibrating with the calm energy that fills the night. Stories tell that the midwives were also keepers of secrets. They held ancient songs, whispered only under the moon, carried only in gentle gestures. These songs were not meant for the world, but for the sanctity of life itself. Each note a blessing, each pause a quiet acknowledgement of the mystery of beginnings. Even in silence, their knowledge hums softly through the grove, reaching into the night, wrapping around hearts like a protective shawl. You watch as Maeve lifts a lantern, its glow softening the edges of the night. She moves slowly, deliberately, circling the grove, blessing stones, herbs, and water. Her steps are quiet, a meditation in motion. The rhythm of her presence becomes a guide for your own breathing, a subtle cue to let go, to rest, and to feel safe. The fire dwindles gently. Embers glowing like tiny stars fall into the earth. The midwives' voices fade, leaving only the soft hum of night and the whisper of wind through leaves. The grove exhales. The water ripples softly, and the world seems to hold its breath in serene balance. Let your mind drift with the calm of the grove. Let your thoughts fold into the rhythm of breath and presence. The midwives watch softly from the edges of dream and memory, guardians of beginnings, keepers of sacred trust. The night embraces you, and every ripple of sound, every flicker of light carries a gentle reminder. Life moves softly, life is sacred, and peace is always near. Now rest as the grove closes its arms around the world. Let the songs of ancient midwives hum beneath your dreams. Let the night hold you tender and steady until morning light touches your eyelids. In Ireland and beyond, sacred women kept fires alive through endless seasons. Their flames warmed the weary and kept the darkness at bay. The night arrives softly, like a whisper through the hills. A silver moon rises above the misted valleys, touching the stones and trees with quiet light. You walk along a path that winds between ancient oaks and gentle streams. The air is still, carrying the faint scent of moss and peat, soft and grounding. In the distance, a warm glow shimmers, flickering through the darkness, inviting you closer. Here, in a hidden circle of stone and earth, the flame keepers gather. The fire they tend burns steadily, neither too bright nor too low, a heartbeat of warmth in the cool night. Their hands hover near the flames, moving with care and attention. Each gesture is precise, deliberate, yet effortless, as if the fire itself listens and bends gently to their touch. A single ember rises on a breath of wind, dancing upward before returning to the hearth, and you feel a sense of deep calm settle within you. The women speak little. Their words are soft, murmured like the gentle rustle of leaves in the night. Their songs, when they rise, are slow and fluid, weaving through the air like smoke curling above the fire. Every note is a thread of devotion, connecting earth, fire, and spirit. Even the stones surrounding the hearth seem to hum in resonance, carrying the warmth of care through the circle. You notice how still everything else has become. The trees, the wind, the distant hills. All presence seems to lean toward the fire, absorbing its light, absorbing the sacred patience of the women who guard it. The flame is not just warmth, it is memory and hope, a living thread between past and present, between what has been and what will come. Each keeper knows her role is not to control, but to nurture. She lifts kindling, places logs with intention, shields sparks from the wandering. Wind and whispers soft encouragements to the living light. The fire responds, stretching higher for a moment, breathing with the rhythm of her hands. Legends tell of Bride, a keeper who walked the hills centuries ago. Her fire was said to heal the tired and protect the wandering soul. Travelers would find her glow from a distance and follow it like a star through the mist. She never rushed, never demanded attention. She simply tended the flame, and all who approached felt a gentle safety. Her presence was like the fire itself, warm, steady, unshakable. You watch as the current keepers pass their hands near the embers, tracing slow patterns above the glow. The heat rises gently, touching palms, faces, and hearts alike. The fire seems to respond to every movement, flickering in acknowledgement, spreading a quiet comfort that reaches even the farthest edges of the grove. A faint scent of burning, herbs rises, sage thyme and rosemary mixing with the crisp night air. You inhale slowly, letting the warmth and aroma settle into your chest, carrying away tension, leaving only calm. The fire teaches patience. Its flames are never hurried, never abrupt. They stretch, bend, and rise with quiet dignity, a constant reminder that care and presence are stronger than force. The keepers know this. They do not rush the spark or demand it to grow. They feed it gently, shield it tenderly, Honor it as one would honor a living being. The night deepens around you, and you feel yourself breathing in sync with the fire, slow and steady, inhaling peace, exhaling quiet. Some say the flame keepers carry memory in their hands, not only of fire, but of every soul warmed, every journey guided, every night kept safe from shadows. They trace these memories in soft motions, brushing logs, stirring embers and lifting, glowing coals with a rhythm that feels older than the hills themselves. The fire bends to their care, a living bridge between the material and the unseen. A gentle wind stirs the surrounding trees, and the keepers adjust the flames with unhurried grace. Sparks rise like tiny stars, drifting upward before fading into night. Each flicker seems to hold a story, a whisper of protection, a sigh of hope, a promise of warmth. You watch as one keeper dips her hand into a small basin of water, cooling her fingers, and then traces the outline of a log in careful ritual. The fire reacts to this soft attentiveness, rising higher for a heartbeat, as if responding to the respect and devotion. The circle of fire is a sanctuary. It hums with life, not loud, not demanding, but steady and enduring. Shadows flicker across faces and stones, moving like soft waves. Every motion is a prayer. Every whisper is a vow. Even the stars above seem to lean closer, attentive to the quiet devotion below. The keepers' voices rise, blending with the crackle of wood, forming a lullaby of protection. It is slow and serene, the kind of song that travels through the soul and settles into bones. Maeve, a keeper of this circle, hums a melody older than the trees. Her hands hover above the flame, coaxing warmth without demanding it. The fire responds, curling upward, gentle and bright. Each movement is intentional, but never hurried, an offering of presence that honors both life and night. Even the smallest gestures carry meaning here. A spark shielded from the wind, a log lifted and placed just so, a whispered word of care. Each action is a thread in a tapestry of quiet devotion. The fire becomes more than warmth. It is a living witness, a quiet guardian, a steady heartbeat in the darkness. Time slows in the circle. The flames flicker, shadows dance, and the wind murmurs through the hills. You feel yourself drifting with the rhythm of the fire, letting every exhale release the weight of the day. The keeper's hands, their careful attention, their steady voices seem to guide your own breath, slow and deliberate. You feel lighter, calmer, more rooted in the present, more connected to the eternal pulse of night and flame. Even the smallest ember holds wisdom. It is warmth and light, fleeting yet constant. It reminds all who watch that care is quiet, devotion is gentle, and presence is the greatest gift. The keepers move softly among the fire, never forcing, never hurrying, only attending with steady hands and hearts full of respect. As the night deepens, the fire becomes a bridge between earth and sky. The glowing embers echo the distant stars, tiny flames mirrored above in the vast heavens. The keepers hum softly, their song a gentle tide that rises and falls in harmony with the flames. You feel the warmth seep into your bones, and the calm stretches through your mind like a soft tide over smooth stones. Even the shadows seem to lean into the glow, softened and still. The fire does not ask for attention, yet it draws all who approach into its circle. It is life and memory, protection and solace. Every flicker tells a story of endless nights kept, of travelers guided, of hearts warmed, of darkness held at bay. The keepers tend this flame with patience, and in doing so teach the night itself to be gentle. Let your breath flow with the rhythm of the fire. Inhale warmth, exhale tension. The keeper's hands, the flickering flame, and the soft scent of smoke and herbs all wrap around you like a gentle shawl. You are part of this circle now, even if only in spirit. The night embraces you. The fire hums quietly, steady and unbroken. Now rest as the flame continues its slow, sacred dance. Let the warmth settle into your chest. Let the glow of care and devotion shine softly within you. Let the keeper's gentle attention guide you into dream, where night is tender, safe, and eternal. Deep in caves and mountainsides, women's chants echoed like rivers underground. Their devotion to hidden gods teaches us the beauty of secrecy and silence. The mountain rises quietly, its peak brushing the low clouds of twilight. The air smells of stone and damp moss, cool and steady, carrying the faint hum of hidden waters. You walk along a narrow path that curves around roots and boulders, your steps soft on earth worn smooth by countless travelers. A faint echo drifts from the mountain's heart, a low melodic vibration, like wind through narrow caverns. It calls, not urgently but gently, inviting you to follow its subtle rhythm. At the mountain's edge, a small cave mouth opens. Shadows stretch across the stone like quiet waves. Inside, faint candlelight flickers, warming the damp walls and casting soft reflections on crystalline formations. The air is still, heavy, with reverence, and the faint scent of incense rises from the deep. Here the voices begin, low, steady, intertwining like threads of a delicate tapestry. The women of the mountain move with care, barefoot on smooth stone floors. Their hands are lifted in gentle gestures, tracing invisible patterns in the air. Each movement is a prayer, each breath a song of devotion. Their chants are soft, rolling from the depths of the cave like the flow of an underground river. It is not the kind of sound that demands attention. It simply is, and in its presence, all else falls away. The mountain itself seems to listen. Stalactites hum faintly in response, and the air vibrates with the quiet energy of hidden places. A small stream winds along the floor, its waters silver in the candlelight, carrying the echoes of voices deeper into the mountain. You follow the sound, letting it guide your steps. Each note wraps around your chest, easing your heartbeat, slowing your breath. These women tend not only to the fire and the water, but to silence itself. They know its value, how the world outside hums with noise and distraction. Within the cave, silence and sound exist together, balanced like the steady pulse of the earth. A chant begins softly, low and resonant, rising and falling in careful arcs. It is an offering, a whisper to gods unseen, guardians of hidden places. No one else needs to hear. Only the mountain, only the water, only the deep stones. You notice the small movements of their hands as they trace the air above the water. Each gesture seems to guide the echoes, shaping them without touching them, like a river flowing around stones. The firelight from small lamps dances in quiet corners, painting gentle patterns of gold and amber on the walls. The voices continue, interweaving in a rhythm both deliberate and fluid, carrying the listener softly along their current. The sound is steady, and yet it feels alive like something breathing deep in the stone. Long ago, it is said, these women were called to the caves by the gods themselves. They followed the mountain paths, guided only by instinct and devotion. They learned the songs that echoed like water through rock, the melodies that carried the language of hidden gods. They became keepers of secrets, guardians of places unseen, teaching that some truths are gentle and quiet, best held within. And so, their voices flowed through stone and shadow, touching all who came near with the hush of devotion. The chants wrap around you, soft as wind through the trees above the mountain. Each note is a thread of warmth, connecting stone, air, water, and spirit. You breathe with the rhythm, inhaling peace, exhaling tension. The cave's walls seem to hum along, amplifying the gentle vibrations, carrying the devotion further than your ears can reach. The women's eyes are calm and steady. They see the movement of air and light, the dance of water and stone. They know when to lift their voices and when to let silence hold sway. Their chants are not hurried, never sharp or demanding. They flow like a river beneath the earth, persistent yet gentle, weaving a path of devotion through hidden spaces. Even the smallest gesture, a tilt of the head, a lift of the hand, a sigh of breath, carries meaning, and you feel it in the soft rhythm of your own body. The cave is a sanctuary, and yet it is alive. Drops of water fall from above, each one small but precise, joining the murmur of the stream. Stones hum faintly with resonance, and the air shimmers in the candlelight. The voices echo and fold back upon themselves, creating layers of sound that reach deep into the bones, settling every worry, every restlessness. A keeper approaches the edge of the stream, kneeling gently on the cool stone. Her hands trace the surface of the water, stirring ripples that catch the candlelight. The ripples carry the echoes of the chants, moving them across the stream, reflecting them back toward the walls. The melody seems to deepen, growing softer and more intimate as it flows around the circle. You feel your eyelids heavy, your breath slow, drawn naturally into the gentle current of sound and light. Here, devotion is quiet, patient, and tender. The women do not call attention to themselves, nor do they need to. Every chant, every motion, every flicker of the candle is a prayer, a presence offered freely to the hidden gods. The mountain accepts it all, folding it into the cool stone, carrying it through tunnels and fissures unseen. Even the smallest echo feels sacred, reverberating with the calm assurance of care and patience. As the night deepens, the women move slowly among the candles and the stream. Their chants rise and fall, mingling with the sound of dripping water, creating a rhythm like slow tides beneath the earth. The fire of the lamps warms the damp stones, and the candlelight shimmers on the flowing water. Everything breathes together. The keepers, the cave, the hidden streams, the echoes of devotion. It is a quiet communion, one that does not demand anything but presence, one that teaches the value of subtlety and care. Each note is soft, deliberate, a river of sound traveling unseen channels. The voices fold gently over one another, never clashing, never loud, only persistent and calm. You feel yourself carried with them, like a leaf on an underground current, moving gently, securely, completely. Even the shadows seem to pause, listening, breathing, aware. The chant slows now, elongating, softening, folding into the quiet. Candlelight flickers low, and the stream carries the last ripples across polished stones. The keeper's hands move one last time over the water, a slow blessing to the hidden gods, to the mountain, to the stones themselves. Silence returns gradually, a gentle tide that softens every sound. Even the mountain seems to exhale, releasing the night into itself, holding the echo of the voices softly within its heart. You linger in the calm, feeling your own presence become as quiet and still as the cave. The cool stone beneath your hands, the faint warmth of candlelight, the distant flow of water, all remind you of patience, of care, of the power in quiet devotion. The night stretches endlessly above the cave, and your breath matches the steady rhythm of the hidden river. You are safe, you are still, you are cradled by unseen hands and whispered prayers. Let us drift onward now, carried gently by the soft memory of voices beneath the mountain. Let your mind float on the quiet river of song, the gentle warmth of candlelight, the tender hush of stone and shadow. Let your breath match the slow, sacred rhythm of devotion. The keeper's chants linger softly in your heart, a quiet lullaby of patience and presence. Now rest, as the stars return, as the mountain breathes softly, and as silence holds all within its tender embrace. Our journey closes with the Universal Mother, appearing in many forms across all lands. Her arms are wide as the night sky, and in her we find rest, safety, and endless peace. The night spreads softly over the land. Stars shimmer like gentle lanterns in the sky, each one breathing light into the darkness. The air is still, cool, and sweet, carrying the faint scent of flowers that bloom only under moonlight. You walk slowly along a path of soft grass, the earth beneath your feet warm and yielding. Above, the heavens stretch endlessly, a quiet canopy, and the wind whispers low through the trees, as if sharing secrets meant only for those who pause to listen. In this quiet, the first signs of her presence appear. A subtle glow, soft as dawn, hovers near the edge of a meadow. It is gentle and welcoming, not demanding your attention, but inviting your senses to open. You float toward it step by step, feeling your breath slow, your body soften, your mind untangle. The Eternal Mother waits at the center of the light. Her form is both familiar and limitless. In some moments, she appears as a woman cradling a newborn under a canopy of silver stars. In others, she is a figure wrapped in flowing robes, hands open wide as if holding the entire horizon. Her eyes carry the depth of oceans, calm and endless, and when she gazes upon you, you feel as though every fear and worry is absorbed into her stillness. Around her, the air hums with warmth, the quiet vibration of safety, of unconditional presence. Her voice rises, soft as a lullaby carried on the breeze. It does not speak words as we know them. Instead, it flows through you like a river of light, curling around every corner of your mind. It tells of beginnings and endings, of seasons turning, of life unfolding in gentle patterns. Her song is steady and soothing, like the pulse of the earth itself, slow and eternal. Across the world, she has many names and many forms. In forests, she moves with the sway of trees, a figure made of leaves and bark, her touch bringing rest to creatures and travelers alike. By the sea, her voice rises with the tide, a melody of waves and salt, and sailors feel her presence in the calm of moonlit waters. On mountains, she whispers through hidden caves, cradling the quiet echoes of devotion. No matter the land, no matter the name, she is always here, and always the same, boundless, tender, endlessly giving. You step closer, drawn by the gentle pull of her light. Her arms open wider, reaching not just toward you, but embracing the night, the stars, and all that moves within the world. You feel yourself suspended in that embrace, held without pressure, touched without effort, known without explanation. Every breath you take blends with hers. Every heartbeat aligns with the steady rhythm of her presence. In her arms, you notice the patterns of the universe. Time seems to slow, folding inward, and the world's noise becomes a distant murmur. You see threads of light weaving through the stars, each one a life, a memory, a story. Some are bright, some dim, yet all are necessary, all are part of the whole. She gathers them gently, cradling each thread with reverence, and as she does, you sense the same tenderness extended to you. Her embrace is not possession, but protection. You are free to breathe, to drift, to simply be. The mountains, the rivers, the forests, the skies, all feel her touch, all feel her steady care. The wind rustles softly through the trees as if echoing her voice, singing a lullaby older than words. Each note settles into you, a gentle wave that soothes every thought, every tension, every flicker of unease. Around you the world hums quietly. The distant ocean, the hidden streams beneath mountains, the flicker of candlelight in faraway temples, all carry a part of her essence. Her presence is everywhere yet intimately close, like the warmth of a blanket that has been folded just for you. You feel the steady pull of her calm, guiding you deeper into yourself, into a space of safety where nothing can harm, nothing can disturb. Her touch, soft as moonlight, moves through your limbs, relaxing them, easing the weight of the day, loosening the knots of thought that have held you tense. You lie down in the meadow of her light. The grass beneath your body is soft and yielding, and the night sky stretches infinitely above, full of silent stars that blink like watchful eyes. The wind carries her voice around you in a gentle spiral, weaving warmth into your chest, peace into your mind, and a quiet joy into your heart. She shows you the cycles of life in the subtlest ways. A leaf drifts from a branch and lands on the soft earth. A star fades slowly behind a cloud, only to return in the silent hours before dawn. A stream curves gently around a stone, never rushed, never forced. All movement is part of a greater rhythm. All endings are beginnings, and all beginnings carry the seed of rest. The Eternal Mother's embrace carries this lesson into your own body. Your breath flows with the rhythm of her song, deep and slow. Your heart beats in harmony with the pulse of the earth beneath you. Every cell relaxes, every muscle releases, every thought softens. You feel the gentle guidance of something ancient, something unchanging, something kind. Her hands trace invisible patterns in the air above you. They move with grace, shaping the quiet currents of the night. You sense the touch of the wind, the hum of the earth, the shimmer of stars, all aligned with her movements. The world feels whole, tenderly arranged, each element singing its part in harmony with her will. It is not a will that demands or controls, but one that nurtures and guides. You rest within it, safe, held, part of a greater calm. The light around her softens, blending with the darkness of the night. Shadows and glow merge seamlessly, and you feel neither fear nor separation. Her embrace contains all, and in that all, there is balance, there is completion, there is gentle rest. You drift along the currents of her presence, like a leaf carried on a river that knows no rush, no burden, only flowing peace. As the night deepens, her voice slows, each note lengthened, softened, becoming one with the quiet of the world. Even the stars seem to lean closer, listening, holding still. You feel yourself dissolve into the rhythm, your body lighter, your mind calmer, your soul held. Nothing exists outside this moment. Nothing is needed. Nothing is feared. The Eternal Mother is here, and in her presence, all is enough. You sense a gentle rocking, like the sway of a cradle or the tide of a hidden sea. It is the heartbeat of the world, mirrored in the pulse of her arms around you. Every inhalation brings light, every exhalation releases tension. Your body sinks deeper into rest, your mind floats quietly, and your spirit becomes weightless in the tender embrace of her care. Now, let your thoughts settle like soft snow on a still meadow. Let your dreams rise gently, like stars reflected in a calm pond. The Eternal Mother's arms widen, holding all that you are and all that you might become. Her presence is infinite, constant, and kind. All is safe. All is quiet. All is soft. Let us drift onward now, carried gently by the calm river of her embrace. Let the night stretch without end, the stars shine without fear, and the warmth of her arms surround every part of you. Now rest, as the world folds into her care, as your breath and heartbeat merge with hers, and as the eternal lullaby carries you into endless peace.